Job creation law protests resulted violence and looting in government's office. Kalbe Pharma bolster alliance with Emirates Pharma Global to market Oktober. Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from the business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. There were violence and looting happened in Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources office, whereas a couple of rooms, 2 lobbies, and official and private cars were destructed as protesters went mad about job creation law.
Crowds came together to smash Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources office. As a result, a couple of rooms were heavily damaged by the protesters, and there were 2 lobbies that were destructed as well. There were more crowd evaporated with the unseen coordinations of flash mob using the protests as a cover to loot the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources assets in Jakarta. Blocks or miles away, officers in riot gear monitored the demonstrators, but still they couldn't get rid of the protesters of doing violence and looting.
Ya, yang beredar, banyak video beredar bahwa sebagian pendemo ada yang masuk ke kantornya SDM dan merusak beberapa fasilitas, terutama kaca di kantor Kementerian SDM. Juga ada beberapa mobil yang dirusak. Kita turut prihatin ya, mudah-mudahan tidak terjadi lagi ke depan, dan alhamdulillah nggak ada korban luka dari teman-teman yang sedang bertugas di kementerian kita.
Before smashing Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources office, protesters burned police stations across the ministry office. The loss was estimated billions rupiah. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga, IDX Channel.
Minister of Cooperatives and SME sees that law on job creation can create significant impact to cooperatives and small businesses. At least there are 6 advantages that small and medium businesses can have from the law.
Through a virtual press conference, Minister of Cooperatives and SMEs said that the law on job creations will create ease of development in the field of cooperatives and small-medium businesses. Even law on job creations was considered as the answer of a small-medium business existing problem. So there are at least 6 advantages to be carried on. First, financing access. Second, market access. Third, ease on developing business. And fourth, licensing and supply chain access to strengthen the role of small-medium enterprises in increasing employment. Because law on job creations can bring local startup into maximum potential. And then moving on to the 5th point, the law is able to provide strengthening and protections for small-medium business actors in competitions with the big business. And the last one, the 6th point, the ease of applying for a loan by small-medium businesses.
Yang pertama, Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja bagi koperasi dan UMKM. Ini yang pertama adalah menjawab masalah utama UMKM dan koperasi saat ini, yaitu akses kepada pembiayaan, akses pasar, akses ke pengembangan usaha, akses ke perizinan, ya, dan juga akses rantai pasok.
Not only those 6 advantages, but in job creations law, primary cooperative can be easily established by only requiring 9 people. Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
And not only lifting investment, newly regulated law on job creation is believed by Industry Minister can boost manufacturing sector as well. Through press conference with other ministers, Industry Minister Agus Gumewang Kartasasmita delivered his perspective about law on job creation, of course through manufacturing point of view. He says that newly regulated law can boost product competitiveness on manufacturing sector, started from small medium enterprises, macro businesses, and state-owned enterprises businesses. Besides that, not only will it become a legal umbrella for a number of laws, but job creation law scheme is claimed to absorb large numbers of workers, especially to fulfill manufacturing sector needs.
Jadi kalau sektor tenaga kerja baik, tentu akan mendukung sektor industri manufaktur, dan juga begitu sebaliknya. Kalau sektor industri manufaktur baik, dia juga akan mendukung sektor ketenagakerjaan. Semua ini pada dasarnya kita ingin mendorong produktivitas, yang pada gilirannya sangat penting, produk-produk kita itu mempunyai daya saing yang lebih tinggi.
Bank of Indonesia revealed 72.6% of SMEs experienced a decline in performance due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Regarding this, Bank of Indonesia ensures that its policies have also been directed to encourage the small economy through 3 policy pillars.
As a result of large-scale social and physical distancing, community economic activities are also affected, especially the performance of SMEs. Deputy Governor of Bank of Indonesia, Doni Juwono, said that SME currently has dropped 72.6% from normal conditions. So the development of SMEs must be done through strengthening synergies interministerial policy institutions. Bank of Indonesia has also taken a number of steps to encourage the role of SMEs as a new force in the national economy. With the first policy strategy, namely the corporatization strategy or strengthening SMEs, the second one is the capacity strategy by encouraging the improvement of SME capacity. And third is the financing strategy carried out to expand alternative source of capital SME.
Kami mempunyai 3 pilar kebijakan strategi nasional pengembangan UMKM, yaitu strategi korporatisasi, yaitu penguatan kelembagaan UMKM, strategi kapasitas, mendorong peningkatan kualitas UMKM, dan terakhir adalah strategi pembiayaan yang dilakukan untuk memperluas alternatif sumber permodalan UMKM.
The use of digital technology is an alternative, one that can overcome difficulties in carrying out various kinds of economic activities. Even Bank of Indonesia mentions that e-commerce and digital payment facilities actually make digital-based retail transactions experience a very significant increase. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo, IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Baik saja tidak cukup, kita harus betul-betul memahami lingkungan bisnis global yang lebih baik, plus di dalam negerinya sosiologi dan antropologi, supaya totalitas kita membantu petani secara efektif.
Kita memang ketahanan pangan, tetapi kita menuju ke kedaulatan pangan.
Ada shadow power yang mendikte pembangunan sektor pertanian bukan oleh Kementerian Pertanian.
Jadi akan ada proyek bikin hunian atau tempat tinggal?
Konsepnya adalah membawa kemudahan masyarakat sekitar Jakarta untuk bekerja di pusat kota. Total saat ini Adik Komputer Property mengembangkan 11 titik ya. Kalau Mas baru beli sekarang mungkin udah ke 3.000 sekian pembeli.
Kita bisa mulai merasakan fase 1 di tahun berapa?
Di tahun 2021.
Welcome back. A number of e-commerce are holding online shopping festivals. 10/10. Various attractive promos are offered to consumers, and at the same time, e-commerce is taking advantage of this momentum to gain as many transactions as possible.
The National Online Shopping Festival has until now been the spearhead for e-commerce to gain as many transactions and users as possible. When it was first held in 2012, the Online Shopping Festival, in the form of the National Online Shopping Day, aims to educate the public about the ease of shopping online. However, it's different today, where online shopping activity is very massive. Based on the SEA 2019 e-economy report, the current massive online shopping is also supported by the fast development of mobile users connected to the internet, where the number of internet users in Indonesia has exceeded 152 million users in 2019. This number has increased rapidly compared to 2015 with 92 million users. E-commerce observer Kun Arif says that currently the online shopping festival has become one of the e-commerce key indicators in the eyes of investors, where the number and value of transactions become important. Meanwhile, from the consumer side, he saw that consumers in Indonesia were still not bored with massive promos. Moreover, even during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, it has not deterred people's intention to shop online. One example is during the Lazada 9 Shopping Festival, which took place last September. The number of orders claimed to have doubled compared to the previous year, while the number of merchants who use the Lazada platform to sell products has increased 7 times. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
Yes, soon the 10th of October will arrive. It means it's time for an online shopping festival full of promos and discounts, or commonly called the 10/10 Online Shopping Festival. However, in the midst of a pandemic, is people's interest in online shopping still high? Let's talk more about this in the following graphic series, and we're going to see the first graphic for today. And this is the conversation about online shopping on Twitter. The conversation about clothes and accessories as much as 44%, meantime about food as much as 40%, appliances and electronics, 35%, self-care, 33%, and phone or gadget, 27%. It is the data jumped up by 60% on the second quarter of 2020. And this growth has increased significantly since people started spending more time at home since March 2020. This was confirmed by Twitter Indonesia's country industry head, Wicky Adrian, who said that since the pandemic, people are more likely to use social media as entertainment. In fact, on Twitter itself, various new topics or conversation are also widely discussed by Twitter users. He said that judging by the volume of these conversations, people tended to shop online during the pandemic. As many as 89% of people using Twitter in Indonesia made purchases online in the first quarter of 2020. And furthermore, along with the increasing number of these transactions or conversations, there is trust that arises in the community. This means that many people who initially did not shop online but now are shopping online. And viewers, are the busiest conversations on Twitter related to online shopping also reflected in real online shopping activities in Indonesia? The data is in the next graphic. This is shopping transaction in e-commerce in the first quarter of 2020. Volume-wise, it was on 275.8 million times. But in terms of value, in the first quarter, it reached on the level of 58.5 trillion rupiah. Meantime, for the second quarter, in terms of value, it was decreased to only 55.9 trillion rupiah. Meantime, for the volume, it was increased by 383.5 million times. Yes, online shopping activities are still recorded to be quite maintained in the range of 50 trillion rupiah. until the second quarter of 2020. But when viewed on a quarterly basis, the value of this transaction has decreased by 4.44%. Assistant Governor and Head of Bank of Indonesia's Payment System Policy Department, Filianingsih Hendarta, said that the nominal shopping transaction in e-commerce has decreased because people's purchasing power has not yet recovered amid the coronavirus pandemic. Even though the nominal decreased, the transaction volume increased by 39.05%. And once again, does the large value of this transaction mean that online shopping has become a new tradition or habit in Indonesians? Let's take a look at the data related to traffic to e-commerce websites in Indonesia. These are the top 6 of e-commerce website traffic rates. And this is the data that had been recorded in the first quarter of 2020. Shopee sitting at number one with the total traffic rate as much as 71.5 million. Meantime, Tokopedia in the second place, 69.8 million traffic. And Bukalapak, 37.6 million. Lazada, 24.4 million. Blibli, 17.6 million. And JDID, 6.1 million. E-commerce services have been an alternative for consumers to shop amid the pandemic. With the high demand for services, Singapore-based company Shopee has shifted Tokopedia's position in terms of the number of visits to the platform based on iPrice data. The number of visits per month to the Shopee platform in Indonesia surpassed Tokopedia since the last quarter of 2019, while in fact Tokopedia has led the way throughout 2019. Meantime, the high number of public visits to a number of e-commerce is influenced by various factors, including attractive promotions. In addition, the presence of official stores from big brands in e-commerce is also a factor which elevates the trust of e-commerce or consumers, especially on the authenticity of the items purchased. Based on Shopee's data from April to June 2020, incoming orders were more than 260 million. With an average daily transaction of more than 2.8 million, an increase of 130% year on year. It's a big number, right? So with the hot atmosphere in welcoming the 10/10 Festival, what is a wise strategy to be able to join and shopping in this festival? The information is in the next graphic. These are the list of tips that maybe you can implement or you can do during the 10/10 shopping festivals. The first one is set a shopping budget, and the second one is create shopping lists and registers and subscribe e-commerce and its services. And before the shopping festival takes place, set the budget that will be allocated for shopping in order to avoid going crazy when seeing various discount labels and avoiding excessive spending. One of the habits most online shoppers do is the hunt for discounts without making a shopping list. The shopping list plays a very important role during an online shopping festival like this, not only to control expenses, but also to keep your focus on hunting for the items you need at the lowest price. After creating a shopping list and finding the retailer that offers the cheapest price, the next tip is to add your desired item to the wish list by including your coveted items in your wish list, and this will help you avoid out of stock or limited discount time. And make sure your budget and internet connection is ready from now. And happy hunting at the 10/10 shopping or online shopping festival. Stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.
Saat ini lebih mudah untuk mendapatkan informasi mengenai perkembangan ekonomi dan bisnis di Indonesia dengan aplikasi IDX Channel. Mulai dari berita, makro dan mikroekonomi, politik hingga hiburan. Anda juga dapat berbagi artikel, foto, dan video ke semua platform media sosial yang Anda miliki. Beragam informasi hari ini bisa di-download di dalam aplikasi idxchannel.com. IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business, and Capital Market Channel.
Senang sekali saya David San Oval dan dapat hadir menemani Anda dalam program spesial dialog webinar on TV.
Setiap minggunya kita akan membahas tema-tema yang sangat menarik. Apa kabar ibu-ibu sekalian?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Salah satu ambisi daripada Kementerian Koperasi dan UMKM bersama Smesco adalah koperasi keren, baru, digital gitu kan, yang kita bisa IT.
Hello, I'm Clara Antawijaya. I'm Associate Producer and News Presenter on Market Headlines. As Market Headlines starts at 4:30 p.m., which is in line with the closing market, therefore we summarize the market conditions only for you. And my job in here as a journalist, I give concise and accurate news for the audience. And also, being a journalist is not only a job for me, but it is also a passion.
For our last segment, and the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 5,042.01. Then, approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 5,033.74. Then, the index was showing strengthening trend. By the second session closing time, index was closed at the level of 5,053.66. In short, JCI went up 0.29%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got mining as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 1.17%. Agriculture went up 1.16%. And next, as the leader of the weakening trend, we got construction went down 0.55%, and basic industry went down 0.53%. And moving on to the top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. BMRI went up 1.83%. to the level of 5,550 rupiah per share. ANTM went up 6.25% to the level of 765 rupiah per share. INCO went up 5.43% to the level of 3,690 rupiah per share. Pewon went up 3.24% to the level of 382 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Boga went down 0.72% to the level of 1,385 rupiah per share. BBNI went down 0.64% to the level of 4,640 rupiah per share. CARE went down 3.89% to the level of 346 rupiah per share. And Adaro went down 1.33% to the level of 1,115 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,675 rupiah, was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,719. In summary, rupiah went down 0.21%. Local pharmaceutical company Kalbe Pharma bolsters alliance with Amarex Pharma Global, which is a subsidiary of Hetero India, to market Covivor in Indonesia. For your information, Covivor is antiviral drug for COVID-19 patients.
Kalbe Pharma is joining hands with India's Amarex Pharma Global to launch an antiviral drug remdesivir named Covivor as COVID-19 treatment in Indonesia. Amarex Pharma Global is a subsidiary of Hetero, one of India's leading generic pharmaceutical companies and the world's largest producers of antiretroviral drugs. Covivor is manufactured at Hetero's modern facility in Hyderabad, India, and has met the standards approved by the strict global regulatory authorities. Vijong Tius, President Director of Kalbe Pharma, estimates that his company will sell around 10,000 until 50,000 of these products as the initial stage until the end of 2020. However, Vijong Tius did not yet have an exact figure of Covivor's sales target. The reason is the need for these products is still moving depending on the demand for hospital. Therefore, Kalbe Pharma has not yet provided exact figure. From all sources for IDX Channel.
To boost its performance, Prisa will focus on optimizing existing products. Through this strategy, the company is optimistic to post double-digit growth in 2020.
To boost this year's performance, Papros will focus on optimizing existing products and developing them in the direction that supports national health. Through this strategy, the company is optimistic that the performance will be able to grow in double digits. According to Zahmilia Akbar, Corporate Secretary of Papros, several new products that were launched in the July and August period were actually aimed at handling COVID-19. Meanwhile, Papros subsidiaries have launched several products, one of which is disinfectant and antiseptic. With this complete portfolio, Papros is confident that it can meet the needs of the domestic market. Regarding the company's capital expenditure budget this year, the capital expenditure is focused on routine investment in fulfilling good manufacturing practices, so that until the first semester of this year, the capital expenditure absorption was only 15 billion rupiah for machine maintenance and other routine activities. For information, in the first half of 2020, Papros recorded a 17.78% decline in sales to 453.92 billion rupiah. As a result, Papros' net profit was also decreased by 43.71% year-on-year. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
Step aside from market condition, implementing health protocols is the main measure to tackle this pandemic. Due to ongoing measures related to COVID-19 scenario, National Disaster Relief Agency or BNPB emphasized that people need to comply health protocol not only in public places but also at home.
During National Disaster Relief Agency talk show, Head of Behavioral Change Socializations of COVID-19 Task Force, Willy Setiawardani, underlined the importance of family role in tackling COVID-19 pandemic.
Keluarga juga tempat di mana di sana ada orang tua ya, kemudian ada anak-anak dan seterusnya. Ini mungkin yang mana tadi Pak Asto sampaikan, masing-masing punya derajat risiko yang berbeda, di mana yang mungkin yang usianya lebih tua karena adanya komorbid, maka resikonya untuk menjadi positif, katakanlah demikian, tertular itu jauh lebih besar. Oleh karena itu memang masing-masing harus mengambil peran ya, mengambil peran agar menjaga diri lah, dengan diri mau tidak mau di dalam keluarga itu pun diterapkan 3M gitu ya.
People at home need to comply health protocol as well, not only at public places due to ongoing measures related to COVID-19 scenario. Household members should clean hands often, implement physical distancing, and use mask. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
As coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situation, and here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening.